I used to think managing diabetes meant giving up every food I loved. Bread, potatoes, fruit, out the window. But my sugar still spiked, and I felt worse, not better. The turning point didn't come from a fancy diet book or some clinic brochure. It came from a plain white plate in my kitchen and a memory of my mama's cooking back in Tennessee. She didn't measure carbs or count calories, but somehow her meals never left us shaky or stuffed. Turns out there's a way to build your plate that supports your blood sugar without feeling like you're on a diet at all. If you've been feeling lost about what to eat or just plain tired of all the conflicting advice, I get it. After 60, the body changes. And so should our meals. But the answer isn't as complicated as folks make it out to be. Today, I'm going to walk you through 6 simple truths about food and blood sugar that changed everything for me. And if you stay with me till the end, I'll share the simple plate method, using your hands, that helped me finally fix my meals for good. If this speaks to you, give the video a like and share it with someone you care about. And check the pinned link below. I've been using something that helped balance my blood sugar while I slept. Might be worth a look. You'll find it in the top comment and in the video description. Number 1, understanding type 2 diabetes. The first time the doctor told me I had type 2 diabetes, I thought it meant I just had to cut back on sweets. I figured, no more pie at Thanksgiving and I'd be fine. But a few months later, I was still tired all the time, my vision got blurry in the afternoons, and I'd wake up at night feeling like my feet were buzzing. That's when I realized this wasn't just about sugar. It was about how my body was handling sugar. Or rather, not handling it well anymore. Think of your body like a front porch rocker. In your younger days, it glides smooth. But over time, the joints rust and it squeaks and resists. With type 2 diabetes, your body still makes insulin. It just doesn't respond to it like it used to. So instead of sugar from food moving into your cells or energy, it stays floating in your blood like guests who won't leave after supper. That's why we feel sluggish, heavy, and off balance. It's not your fault. It's the body needing a little tune-up. What helped me most was finally understanding that diabetes doesn't mean my body's broken. It just needs more help to do its job. When I started eating meals that gave my body steady fuel, not sugar spikes, things started clicking. Less foggy mornings, fewer crashes, and that midday nap I used to need, now it's optional. The key is knowing what kind of foods make your blood sugar rise fast, and which ones keep it calm. I remember sitting on my porch one evening, watching the sun dip low over pines, and thinking, maybe I waited too long to change. But then I heard my grandson laughing in the yard, chasing fireflies, and I thought, nope, as long as I'm breathing, I've got a reason to take care of myself. Understanding what diabetes is, that was the first step, and thank the Lord, it's not too late for any of us to take it. Truth is, you can't fix what you don't understand. But once I saw that diabetes isn't about punishment, it's about patterns, I stopped blaming myself and started paying attention. Not just to what I ate, but how it made me feel after. A good meal doesn't just fill your belly, it steadies your whole self. Number 2, how food affects blood sugar. The smell of warm cornbread still reminds me of Sunday dinners after church. We'd pile our plates high, potatoes, beans, sweet tea flowing, and back then, we didn't think twice about sugar or carbs. But now I know every bite of those starchy foods turns into sugar once it's inside us. And when your body can't handle sugar the way it used to, that innocent slice of cornbread can make your blood sugar shoot up like fireworks on the 4th of July. Funny how food works like that. Carbohydrates, especially the quick ones like white bread, candies, soda, get digested fast, and boom, sugar rush. But slower carbs like beans or whole oats act more like a gentle stream instead of flood. It's not about avoiding all carbs. It's about choosing the right ones at the right times. Once I understood that, I didn't have to give up my favorite meals, just adjust them a bit. Nowadays, I picture food like it's on a team. Carbs might be the flashy players. They score quick, but if they run wild without defense, it's chaos. That's where protein and fiber step in. They slow things down, keep the sugar from spiking too fast. So when I eat a piece of fruit, I'll pair it with a handful of nuts or a boiled egg. That way, I get the sweetness and the steadiness. My neighbor Ed once told me he stopped eating bananas because someone said they were bad. But the real issue wasn't the banana. It was eating it alone, with nothing to buffer the sugar. We had a long talk on his front steps, and now he adds peanut butter or cottage cheese when he wants one. He still gets his fruit, and his numbers are better than ever. Sometimes it's not about cutting, it's about combining. So when folks ask me what changed, I tell them this. I didn't stop eating carbs. I just stopped letting them walk in the door uninvited. Now I bring along some friends, protein, fiber, a bit of fat, and it's a proper meal, not a sugar spike. Small changes, steady hands, big difference. Number 3, smarter carbohydrate choices. Back when I was younger, I thought whole wheat bread was just the brown stuff nobody wanted at lunch. But the older I got, and the more I learned about diabetes, the more I came to appreciate the foods that don't hit you like a sugar hammer. Whole grains, beans, lentils, they don't just sit there. They work for you. They come packed with fiber. And fiber slows the sugar down like traffic on a rainy day. It means you feel full longer, with fewer spikes and crashes. There's a story I like to tell about black-eyed peas. Every New Year's Day, we'd have a pot simmering on the stove. I just like the taste and the smell. But now I know they're full of fiber, protein, and slow-digesting carbs. That old Southern tradition? It was a blessing in disguise for blood sugar. Sometimes the wisdom of the past lines up just right with what we need today. The hardest part, I think, is spotting the hidden sugars. You wouldn't believe how many foods sneak them in. A slice of white bread, a bottle of ketchup, even so-called healthy yogurts. It's not always about sweet taste. It's about ingredients that digest fast and hit your blood like a freight train. So now I check labels, not to be perfect, but to be mindful. If sugar's in the first 3 ingredients, I leave it on the shelf. One thing that helped me was swapping out what I used to eat without feeling punished. Instead of sugary cereal, I go for oatmeal with cinnamon and a few walnuts. Instead of white rice, I use quinoa or barley. My meals still taste good. They just don't come with a sugar price tag. And when I want something sweet, I go for a small apple with a bit of cheese or a square of dark chocolate. Enough to satisfy, not sabotage. Looking back, I thank God I didn't let fear run the show. Learning to choose smarter carbs wasn't about giving things up. It was about trading up foods that fill me, steady me, and don't leave me crashing by 3 p.m. And you know what? I don't miss the old stuff half as much as I thought I would. Number 4, proteins and fats. If protein were a person, it'd be the quiet type. Steady, dependable, always shows up on time. Back when I started fixing my meals, I didn't pay much attention to it. I thought it was just for bodybuilders or folks trying to bulk up, but I soon learned that a piece of chicken or a couple of boiled eggs could help balance my meals in a way that carbs alone never did. It's like protein puts the brakes on sugar, keeps things from going out of control. My breakfast used to be toast and jam, quick and tasty, but by 10 a.m. I was starving and shaky. Then I tried adding a couple slices of turkey or a little cottage cheese on the side. What a difference! I felt fuller, more awake, like my engine had clean fuel instead of sugar fumes. Protein doesn't raise blood sugar much on its own, but it changes the whole ride when it's on the plate. Fats, now they're trickier. Some are good for you, like the ones in olive oil, nuts, or avocados. They help slow digestion and keep you satisfied longer. But I used to pile on the bacon and butter like I was still 25, and that didn't do my blood sugar or my heart any favors. Once I learned which fats to lean on and which ones to lighten up, it felt less like restriction and more like wisdom. One thing that surprised me was how much a little goes a long way. A drizzle of olive oil over steamed broccoli or a spoonful of peanut butter with a banana, that's enough. Now I use my thumb as a guide. Just a tip for butter, maybe the whole thumb for olive oil. It keeps things in check without needing a measuring cup. And it fits right into how we used to cook, by feel, not by numbers. Some days I think, why didn't I start this sooner? But then I remember, it's not about when you start. It's about starting it all. Adding the right proteins and healthy fats to my plate didn't feel like a diet. It felt like finally giving my body what it needed. And thank the Lord, my body responded in kind. Number 5, vegetables. The snap of green beans in my hands still takes me back to summer evenings on my grandma's porch. We'd sit together with big bowls, snapping ends and talking about life. Back then, I didn't know that those crunchy little greens were some of the best things I could put on my plate. Non-starchy vegetables, like green beans, spinach, zucchini, don't spike your blood sugar. They steady it, like old oak trees holding strong in the wind. Funny thing is, most of us grew up eating vegetables, but somewhere along the way, they got replaced by fries and white bread. I used to think they were just side dishes, nothing special. But now, I fill half my plate with M, and not because someone told me to, but because I feel better when I do. Less bloating, more energy, and my numbers look calmer too. One trick that helps me enjoy them more is roasting. I toss broccoli or cauliflower in olive oil, add a pinch of garlic, and pop in the oven till it's crispy on the edges. It tastes like something from a fancy restaurant, not a health food chart. And when I'm short on time, I just grab a handful of baby carrots or slice up some cucumber. No need to overthink it. I always chuckle thinking how vegetables are like the quiet folks at church. Maybe not flashy, but faithful and always good to have nearby. They don't draw attention, but you sure feel their absence when they're gone. That's how it is with meals too. Without vegetables, something just feels off. Now I say a little thanks before each meal, not just out of habit, but because I'm genuinely grateful. Grateful I learned what helps me feel steady. Grateful for every colorful veggie that fills my plate and reminds me that food can be both medicine and joy. Number 6. Other items: water, tea, coffee, and diet drinks. Mornings always start with a cup of black coffee in my house. Nothing fancy, just hot, strong, and quiet. It's a little ritual that steadies me before the day begins. For years, I thought I had to give it up because of diabetes. But turns out, plain coffee doesn't raise blood sugar. Neither does tea or water. It's the stuff we add, sugar, creamers, sweet syrups, that turns a good habit into a sugar bomb. One of the best things I did was start keeping a glass of water with me all day. Not because I was thirsty, but because staying hydrated helps your blood filter that sugar out. It's like cleaning out the system, slow and steady. And when I get the urge to snack between meals, half the time it's not hunger, it's thirst. A tall glass of water calms the urge like a gentle rain, quiets the dust. Now let's talk sodas. I used to drink cola with every lunch. Felt like it was part of the meal, but all that sugar was working against me. Switching to diet soda helped, but I still don't drink it every day. Some folks like it, and if it helps them cut back on sugar, I say go ahead, but water and unsweetened tea are my everyday choices now. They don't mess with your numbers, and they don't make you crave more sweets later. Sometimes I jazz up my water with lemon slices or a few mint leaves. My wife even freezes berries into ice cubes. It makes plain water feel a little special. I like that. Small touches make a difference. Drinking well doesn't mean giving up flavor. It means finding new ways to enjoy it, without the sugar crash later. I thank God I didn't quit coffee or feel guilty over a glass of tea. The trick wasn't removing joy. It was removing excess. When you treat your drinks with the same care you give your plate, your whole day feels steadier. And Lord knows, after 60, we could all use a little more steady. And just when I thought I tried everything, low carb, no carb, counting points, I stumbled on something so simple, it almost felt silly. No special foods, no tracking apps, just a regular dinner plate, and my own 2 hands. That's what finally brought peace to my meals and balance to my blood sugar. The life-changing plate and hand trick. I still remember the day I learned about the plate method. I was sitting in a diabetes class at the community center, half listening, half wishing I was anywhere else. Then the lady said, "All you need is a regular dinner plate in your own hands." That caught my attention. No scales, no apps, no food journals, just what God already gave me. And let me tell you, that one lesson changed everything. Here's what I do now. I grab a plate no bigger than 9 inches across. Half of it, I fill with non-starchy vegetables. That could be spinach, zucchini, cucumbers, bell peppers, you name it. The other half, I split that in 2. 1/4 gets a lean protein, like grilled chicken, eggs, or tofu. The last quarter is for smart carbs, sweet potato, brown rice fruit, or even a little yogurt. Just seeing it laid out like that takes the guesswork out of every meal. But what really blew my mind was using my hands. One closed fist? That's about how much carbs I should have. My palm? That's my protein size. And just the tip of my thumb? That's the fat, like butter or salad dressing. If it doesn't fit in those guides, it doesn't go on my plate. No math, no measuring cups. Just me and my God-given tools. And somehow it works every time. Now, I don't feel anxious at mealtime. I just build my plate with what I know steadies me. I still eat meals I enjoy, just in better balance. And you know what? My sugar numbers look better, my energy is more even, and I feel in control without feeling restricted. That little plate became my daily compass. My hands, the map, it's not a diet, it's a way to live. Funny how the simplest tools can bring the biggest breakthroughs. I thank the Lord I was paying attention that day, because now every meal feels like a quiet victory. No stress, no shame, just a plate, a pair of hands, and a life that feels steadier than it has in years. Sometimes I look at my plate and think about how far I've come, not in miles, but in understanding. I used to eat whatever was around, guessing what might work. Now, every meal feels like a small act of care, not punishment, not restriction. Care for my body, for my future, and for the people I love. That simple plate and hand method didn't just change my numbers. It changed how I feel about food and about myself. I know some folks out there feel like it's too late to fix things. Maybe your sugar's been high for years. Maybe you've tried and failed more times than you care to count. But let me tell you, God's not finished with you. If you still got breath in your lungs and a little strength in your hands, there's time to turn things around. One meal at a time. One better choice at a time. That's how I did it. And you can too. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a man who's been through the ups and downs and found a way that worked. So before you make any big changes, talk to your doctor or dietitian. Ask about what fits your needs. But don't be afraid to take that first step, because once you do, you'll realize how much power you still have, right there in your own kitchen. These days, I don't chase perfection. I aim for peace, a peaceful body, a peaceful mind, meals that don't make me crash or worry. I've still got sweet tea on Sundays and cornbread now and then, but I enjoy them more now because they come with balance, not guilt. Life after 60 doesn't mean giving things up. It means living smarter and loving yourself enough to make better choices. So wherever you are in your journey, know this. It's never too late to feel stronger, steadier, and more in control. You got tools right in front of you and a whole lot of grace behind you. Take care of yourselves, and God bless y'all.